Hi, guys. Today we're going to talk about self assessment and identification of challenges. We will now focus on understanding and identifying those challenges that you are facing, help you to pinpoint on those unique stressors, and those stressors can range from personal to health related ones. So it doesn't really matter, but understanding these personal challenges is so very important to recognize those stresses that are unique to each of you. What might cause you stress for one person might not affect the other one in the same way. Therefore, developing those tools to identify your personal stresses is really important. One helpful way is self reflection, where you take time to think, analyze that situation, circumstances that trigger your stress response within you. Now, journaling is a great way, or a stress diary. Now, when someone experiences anxiety, the first thought might be that you're worrying too much. For most people, anxiety is invisible, and uh, other people, it might be really visible. So you might internalize your stress, your doubts, or your worries, making you scared in case other people will judge you. It's time to refocus your thoughts instead of focusing on the negativity. Now, the human response is usually to rush to those negative thoughts immediately. First, before we tackle these challenges, we need to understand what they are. Now, most of us, not in modern times or anything, most of us, we're ashamed. We're embarrassed that we have anxiety and stress. We admit that we have them. We sometimes seek professional help. We try not to push those feelings away, but we do push them away. And when we reach that point of that emotional crisis, I would like to introduce this method called simple focus. Now, work can be a very significant sort of stress and anxiety, but health is really major. Now, reflective exercises are great to uncover any underlying challenges, involves introspection, honest assessment. It will pinpoint you to those thoughts and emotions that are really you're reacting to in those certain situations. By understanding, you can then gain clarity over your stresses and your challenges. I'm going to explain the simple focus exercise in great detail. Now, what is simple focus? I've named it in such a way. So it's your self esteem issues and your lack of confidence. We all feel sometimes that. We feel we lack in confidence. We ignore that anxiety that manifests into physical symptoms, into cardiac or respiratory problems, pain, digestive issues. Because when you feel under attack, you start to get breathless and your heart beats faster and you feel shaky, and that anxiety and panic, your behavior will change. And this unresolved tension cause you unhealthy lifestyle choices, loss of self-control. You then try and counteract it by either drinking too much, or you smoke, or eat unhealthy foods. So your self-esteem issues and the lack of confidence stems from these issues. Then you feel isolated and you feel lonely, and that's quite scary. When you feel that nobody's supporting you, you feel, that there's no one there. Mental well-being is really, the impediment means that you have been stalled somewhere. Your physical ill health, you feel really ill, you have lost control in your life, and there's excessive worry and thoughts, and then those behaviors like explained to you. But what do you do when you face with these challenges? How are you going to react? How are you going to do something different? Face your fear and say it loud and proud. Many people hide it. They're just embarrassed. You overcome your negativity to build your self confidence. You realize that, yes, I have issues, and that's okay. But now I want to be the person I want to be, so I'm going to build my self confidence. You communicate about it and do some physical activity. You understand what your triggers are, and you use those strategies I'm going to teach you, coping techniques, your breath control, and support. Now, health related challenges, it plays a vital role in what you feel, like whether you're dealing with chronic illness, managed pain, even the lack of physical activity. It is become impacts your life significantly. When someone experiences anxiety, the first thought may be they're worrying too much. For most people, anxiety can be invisible. However, you might take these doubts and these stress to the other level, make you too scared. And it's time you start to make those changes. It's time you started to face those challenges and face your fears. Now, reframe. I've talked about reframe before to create those change. So when you face anxiety and panic attacks, you will have negative thoughts. And to challenge them is to switch them. The minute you start to think negatively about yourself, it's your choice there, right? So you have to choose what you're going to do in that moment to improve your quality of life, to break that circuit. So I am also going to introduce you a technique called the personal challenge mapping. It's a systemic approach to understand the nature of your challenges, their root causes, their impact on these different areas of your life, and will create a clearer picture of your personal landscape. Now, my learning alerts at the end of this is how you reframe your mind, think differently, use that simple focus, how you transform your mind and create positive coping strategies and complete the personal challenge mapping exercise. So, simple focus. I've attached this at the end of this video. So, it's a technique I created to control your feelings. So, S, your self esteem issues. So, write down in that space, even on a blank piece of paper, those self esteem issues that cause you to have a lack of confidence. Face your fears and say it loud and proud. So, write down what are you going to do. Now, when you feel isolated and alone, what does that make you feel? Build a wall of positivity. Note down all the things you're achieving to overcome that negativity, build your confidence. Write a post note and stick it on the wall and remind you of all the good things you can do. Now, how does it affect your mental health? Write that down and communicate those positive achievements. How does it manifest in your physical body? Are you then struggling to get out of the house? Are you struggling to breathe properly? Are you having like mini panic attacks? Where do you lose control? So my strategies are you breathe control, you do mindfulness, you do something in nature. And how do those excessive thoughts impact your behavior? So I'd like to fill this out and that will really help. Now, your personal challenge mapping. I said you put those post-it notes. So it's a structured approach that helps you understand the nature of your challenge. The first step is to identify. So write it on a post-it note. Identify what's occurring or what is your challenge. Once you identify those root causes, I want you to understand them and map them out. Like just draw a person and then stick it out like a roll on the wall. And it represents a post-it notes. It's connected by putting them down. It is a visual representation of what you're facing and the challenges you're facing. Then when you go to this, you think about yourself as in you're another person and look at these and they actually, I understand I'm going through all of this, but I'm not going to blame myself. I'm just going to write this down and just have a visual representation of what I'm facing. And now I know what I need to tackle to feel better. So, thank you for watching, and please go on to the next module. And don't forget to complete the two PDFs at the bottom of this page. Bye.